Hi, I'm Martha Thornburg, and I'm the instructor for Digital Decisions Technology for Educators IT 442 for the spring, and welcome to our class. So just to get started a little bit early, I thought we would do some housekeeping business before class started so that we can just jump in and get busy with all the different projects we have for our class on day one. So we're going to get started with a few things. I have a few requests for you to get started before we begin. First one is if you don't already have a Google account, if you could go ahead and set up a Google account. So this would be your Gmail account. You probably already have one, and that one's fine, and you don't need to create another one. Just make sure that you know how to log in and what your password is so that you can use that tool in class. We're going to be creating a Google site for our digital portfolio. We're going to be using Blogger. We'll be using YouTube, and we'll be using the Google Apps. So it's important to have an account. So if you can do that before class, that would be great. Also, we're going to do a little bit of tweeting, not a lot, but a little bit. We will be talking about tweeting in class. And so if you could go ahead and create a Twitter account. Now, you may already personally have a Twitter account that you use for communicating with friends and family. And I would suggest that you create one that's specifically for communicating with teachers and other educators. So for creating and collaborating with teachers. So something simple like I have one of our teachers is Miss Mo's class. Mine is MVSD Digital. So it's something that you can just use for communicating that way. It's a little bit confusing to have more than one account if you already have an account, but I think you'll find it useful when you get in the classroom if you already have an account that you can use to share what's happening in your class and to communicate with other teachers. So we're going to do that. And then also we're going to have a Google Plus community. So when you have a Google account, which you will have or already have, you will have access to a Google Plus account, which is kind of it's a social networking tool that's built into the Google program. And if you haven't used it before, it may ask you to set up your profile. What we're going to be doing in class is we have a community. And our community is WWIT442, so you can search for that community that way and look for the community. That WWIT442 is actually mentioned in Google and other places, but just make sure you're looking for the community. But even easier, you can go to the link that's on this page here, and it will take you right to the page where you can click Ask to Join. And when you ask to join, I'll get an email and I will accept you. So I'm trying to keep it as open as possible, but I do want to know who's joining and who's not, so I've set it up that way. And we're going to be using this account throughout, like every week. We're going to be, you're going to be getting writing prompts and things to respond to and have discussions with other students using Google Plus. So it's important that you get your account and get into the community. Okay. And we will use Canvas as our main form of communication throughout the course, even though we'll be using lots of other tools that we push in and out of Canvas. But you can find what, our syllabus and calendars and assignments and grades and all that stuff, any announcements are also going to be on Canvas. And on Canvas right now, you can go to Canvas and take a look at our syllabus. This is a tentative syllabus. Things can change. I'm still actually working on things right now, but you can take a look at it and get a good idea of what we'll be doing in class. And so when you come on March 30th, you can ask any questions you might have about the syllabus. We will go over the syllabus on March 30th, and but I will keep that as brief as possible during that time, and only and just expect you to have already looked at the syllabus. It is a little long, and I apologize for that, but there's the stuff that we have to put on there, and then there's the stuff that I want to make sure that you know ahead of time so that you can plan accordingly throughout the term and know what you need to be doing. So hopefully that will be helpful for you to take a look at that. And then the last thing that I'd like for you to do is participate in this one little activity with Padlet. So Padlet is a great tool, a little online collaborative board, and I'd like for you to go to Padlet, and this is the address right here, and I'd like for you to type your name, the grade level or grade band you'd like to teach, what your favorite subject or what subject you would like to teach, what languages you speak, and one interesting fact about you. And what I'm going to do with all of this information is, first of all, get to know you a little bit, but also I'm going to try to see if I can use that to sort you into groups, collaborative groups for some different projects we're going to do in class. So I'm going to be looking at, you know, similar grade bands, similar subject area, that kind of thing. So if you could do that, that would be great. And let me just show you how that looks. So this is the Padlet, and you would just double click and this pops up. You'd put your name, and then the questions are right up here. And so if you could answer those questions. Now I can't show you this right now because it doesn't work since my camera's on right here, but you can actually even add your own picture. So I could see a picture of you in your little box too. But be sure to answer those questions, and I will use those to try to create the groups. All right. So for our first session before March 30th, if you could create your Google account, or just make sure you know your password and login information. Create a professional Twitter account for communicating and collaborating with other educators. Ask to join our Google Plus community. Take a look at the syllabus and do our Getting to Know You activity on Padlet. And I look forward to seeing you on March 30th for our first class.